What's going on, guys? College Football Talks back at it again with another video. And today I'll be giving you guys my week 1 predictions on this upcoming first week of college football. So make sure you like and subscribe and comment what I should cover next. So let's get right into it. Starting off the games Thursday evening, I guess. Temple plays Rutgers, and this game is at Rutgers. And I do have Rutgers beating Temple. Even though Temple does have transfer quarterback D'Wan Mathis from Georgia, I think Rutgers is the more talented team, and they'd actually sold out their stadium for the first time in, I think, 4 or 5 years. So that place will be rowdy, and that will give Rutgers even a bigger advantage. I definitely see Rutgers winning this game. Next up, we have Boise State versus UCF, two of the top group of 5 schools in the nation. I do have UCF beating Boise State, mainly because UCF's quarterback, Dillon Gabriel. I think Dillon Gabriel is legit one of the most talented and best quarterbacks in college football. I think he'll ball out for UCF, and UCF will walk away with the Week 1 victory. Next up, we got USF versus NC State. I have NC State beating USF, but USF does have former Florida quarterback who was one of the top JUCO transfers this upcoming season, Jarren Williams. So I wouldn't be surprised if USF gave NC State a game, but I do see the Wolfpack winning. Finally, for my Thursday games, I have Ohio State beating Minnesota at Minnesota. Even though I think Minnesota will give Ohio State a better game than people think, I think Ohio State's way too talented, way more talented, and just has way too much talent over Minnesota. I think they'll start off the season 1-0. Next up, we got the Friday games this week. Starting off with North Carolina and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, again, pretty sure sold out their stadium. And that place will be, Virginia Tech is one of the best atmospheres in college football. So that will be a very fun game to watch. And I would not be surprised to see Virginia Tech win it all, but I do have North Carolina winning this game. The main reason I have North Carolina winning this game is because Heisman contender Sam Howell, I think he'll just be the difference maker in this game versus Virginia Tech. And I do see this coming down to like a fourth quarter game where it's like 1 or 2 possessions. I could definitely see it ending like in a game-winning field goal, but I do have North Carolina winning. Next up, I have Michigan State at Northwestern. I do have Michigan State winning this game, even though Northwestern is favored. Northwestern decided to start quarterback Hunter Johnson, and I honestly am not a fan of that move. I hope he does well, but what I've seen in the past, he just has not looked like a good quarterback, and I think, Michigan State has more talent than Northwestern, and I think Peyton Thorne will start for Michigan State. I think that he'll do a good job there, and I think they'll start off the season on a good track with a win over Northwestern. Next up, we have Duke at Charlotte. I do have Duke winning this game. But looking at this game, it's supposed to be a lot closer than people think. Duke is not a very good team this year. And next up, we have our most important games for Saturday. And to start off the day at 11 a.m., we have Wisconsin versus Penn State. I do have Wisconsin beating Penn State. I think quarterback Graham Mertz will be the difference maker in this game, especially with Penn State coming off a very rough year for them last year. Trying to get back into the swing of things. I do see it being a close game, but I think Wisconsin has more talent than Wisconsin has more talent than Penn State, and I think they have a better game plan than Penn State coming into Week 1. So I do have Wisconsin winning. Next up, we have Alabama at Miami. I do have Alabama winning. I hope this is a close game. I want Miami to be good again. I think college football is just better when Miami's good, but I don't see it being a very close game, to be honest. I see Alabama winning by 4 or 5 touchdowns. Hopefully it's closer. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I definitely have Alabama winning this game. Next up, I think one of the most interesting games of the day, in my opinion, Indiana at Iowa. Iowa has 2 hard weeks in a row where they have to play Indiana Week 1 and Iowa State Week 2. So, I don't know. I definitely could see Iowa winning and, forcing maybe a college game day appearance for them in Iowa State, but I do have Indiana pulling out this one. I really like Indiana this season. I think they're one of my dark horses to finish like inside the top 10 and make a New Year's Six bowl. And I think Michael Penix is a very underrated quarterback. And I think Indiana will get off of a great start to their season with a win over Iowa. Next up, we have number 21 Texas versus number 23 Louisiana Lafayette. I do have Texas winning this game, and I think Texas will start off the Sark era right. And I think this will be definitely a close game. I could see it coming down to the final minutes, maybe a one-possession game. But I do think Texas will pull this one out, just considering the talent difference there is. But I would not be surprised to see Louisiana Lafayette give Texas a really good game. But I'm going to roll with Texas for this one. Next up, we have our college game day game this week in Georgia versus Clemson, at Clemson. Clemson's ranked number 3, Georgia's ranked 5, so a very important game to start off the season. A lot of people are saying this is pretty much an indicator of who's going to make the playoff, and I have Georgia winning. I think Georgia, even though they lost 2 players for this week 1 game, I think JT Daniels is the real deal, and I think he's going to have a terrific season this year. And I don't know, I just have a feeling Georgia's going to give Clemson like everything they have, and this is I think this is a way more important game for Georgia than it is for Clemson, because if Clemson loses this, they could definitely win out the rest of the schedule, where if Georgia loses this, I don't know if they can win out the rest of the schedule. So Georgia really needs this win to pretty much solidify them in a really good place to make the college football playoff this year. So I'm going to roll with Georgia. Next up, our Sunday night game, Notre Dame at Florida State. And this is my big upset game for the week, and I do have Florida State beating Notre Dame. I think Mackenzie Milton will start for Florida State, and I think he'll have a terrific game, and I don't think Notre Dame is that good this year. I mean, Jack Cohn is not a bad quarterback, but he's nothing like elite. He's just kind of a game manager. And even though Notre Dame does have a really good running back in Kieran Williams, I don't think that will be enough against Florida State. And I think Florida State will start off with a really good week 1 win over number 9 Notre Dame and get their season started on the right path. Next up, we got my under-the-radar games on Saturday. Starting off with West Virginia at Maryland. I have West Virginia beating Maryland. Even though I do like Maryland quarterback Talia Tagovailoa, I think West Virginia is a very underrated team this year, and I think this pull off the week 1 win. Next up, I have UCLA at LSU, and I have UCLA beating LSU. Just the way UCLA looked versus Hawaii last week, I mean, they came out just rolling, and quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I think, will have a great game, and their running attack looked great. So if they can do even like half of that, they'll have a shot to win. And I think they'll pull off the win versus a underwhelming last year LSU team who's hopefully going to bounce back this year. But I don't see LSU's season starting off on a good path, and I see UCLA winning. Next up, I have Stanford at Kansas State, and I have Kansas State winning. Just with all the Stanford talent lost last year, including quarterback Davis Mills, I think Kansas State with, 6-year senior Skylar Thompson will just have the overall advantage in this game, and I think they'll pull off the win. Next up, I have Nevada at Cal. I do have Nevada winning at Cal. I think Nevada quarterback Carson Strong is, again, very talented and obviously, one of the elite quarterbacks, in my opinion, in college football. So I'm going to roll with Nevada. Next up, I have Fresno State at Oregon. A lot of people are thinking this is going to be a blowout, but the way Fresno State looked yesterday, we know they can score the ball. We know they can score the ball, and I don't know. I could see them definitely giving Oregon a game, but I'm still going to go with the Ducks. I think Oregon just has too much talent, and I think they'll get a close Week 1 victory versus Fresno State. Next up, I have Marshall at Navy. I do have Marshall winning. This is kind of a toss-up. It's a very even game, but I'm going to roll with Marshall in this one. Next up, I have San Jose State at USC. Again, I think this is going to be a lot closer game than people expect, and I think it could definitely come down to one possession game at the end, but I'm going to roll with USC in this one. Again, just the talent perspective, even though San Jose State does have a very talented quarterback in Nick Starkel, I think USC just all around the field has, obviously better players. I think that will show, and they'll end up winning the game at the end. Finally, I have Louisville, Ole Miss, and I do have Ole Miss winning. Matt Corral, in my eyes, is a very interesting Heisman dark horse, and I think he'll start off the season really well and get Ole Miss a much-needed victory versus a not bad Louisville team. Finally, for today, I'm going to tell you guys my bold predictions for this weekend. Starting off at number 1, obviously I have Florida State beating Notre Dame, and I think Mackenzie Milton will shock the world, and Florida State will beat number 9 Notre Dame at home, and their fan base will go crazy saying Florida State's back. And I'm not going to say that yet, but I do think they'll have a much better season this year, and they'll start off with a really good win versus a highly ranked Notre Dame team. My second bold prediction is San Jose State giving USC a scare at home. I think San Jose State definitely could win this game. I would not be surprised to see San Jose State get a huge upset versus USC. But I do see USC winning this. But I think, again, I could see San Jose State up by a touchdown in the third quarter, and USC comes back, and I think they'll win by 1 or 2 touchdowns. My last and final prediction is Matt Corral throws for 400 yards against Louisville and looks like a Heisman contender. I think Matt Corral just has one of the best deep throws in college football, and I think he just has one of the best arms in college football. And I think he'll have a great game versus Louisville, and I think he'll solidify himself. Thank you all for tuning in today again, and make sure to let me know what I should cover next in the college football world. And if you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, and have a great day.